Hello, I'm Dan Restuccio with Post Perspective, and we're here at NAB 2018 with Paul Babb, President and CEO of Maxon Cinema 4D, and also Tuesday McGowan, is it? Did I get it right?
Yes, you did.
All right, motion graphics designer and 3D artists. Yesterday you had a panel, Paul.
Yes.
Women in Motion Graphics session. What was that about? Why did you get involved?
Well, as you know, at Maxon Cinema 4D, we bring in artists to come demo our product or show what they're doing with Cinema 4D and their projects. And we stream them online so people can watch. And over the years, we've struggled getting women out to present for us, finding good artists to come out and do these presentations. A year ago or so, we were getting some criticism online during our stream from some women complaining that there weren't enough women demo artists coming to our booth. And at first I got a little angry and thought, hey, we've been trying really hard to get women out here and we're getting beat up for it, but then realized, well, maybe there's something more we could do to encourage more women to want to come out, because we did hear through the grapevine that some of the women we've been asking maybe didn't feel confident enough to get up in front of a crowd, or for whatever reason that is. But we thought, well, maybe what we need to do is encourage more women to come out. How can we do that? So I thought maybe having a panel with successful artists and people who have been in the industry for a long time and can be role models for these women and come out. So we made a great effort over the year to bring in some amazing artists from different, even all designers and motion graphic artists, different styles of work, different backgrounds, to come in and talk about the struggles of women getting into the industry. So it was great.
Tuesday, can you tell me, is this issue as prevalent in the motion graphics as it is in the rest of the industry? We were talking earlier. Can you explain?
Yeah, I think that the issue is really pronounced in 3D animation. I would say that we're making great strides in 2D animation. It's still a male-dominated field. The thing that we talked about at the panel discussion that I think is important is motion graphics in general. The field itself is very young. So if you think about an evolution of more diversity, not just women, but men, I think it will happen, but through awareness and through panel discussions like Paul asked me to moderate, will actually increase the visibility, get the word out, and influence Generation Z, the next generation of young women and people of color, to get involved. It's very intimidating. And women second guess, we talked about this, women second guess themselves. Women are always sometimes hesitant. That's what Sheryl Sandberg's book about leaning in, getting involved, pushing yourself. Going for it, even though you're not an expert in a field, trying it. And we think that the Generation Z, young women who are more familiar and very confident with technology and Instagram and so forth, we really have a lot of hope that they're going to branch out and become great 3D artists.
What's your story? How did you gain entry? Because you're a role model. So what's your story?
I'll tell you. It's my generation, I would say, was the first generation of what I would call designer directors. And I'm a contemporary of people like Kyle Cooper, Karen Fong from Imaginary Forces. We are the first generation that had access, because all of a sudden the technology became affordable. And all of a sudden, people wanted content and animation, and motion design became a thing. Motion design did not exist. So it was my generation that came along and said, all right, I can tell stories, I can be a director, and graphic design is always the base. That's where we got our degrees from. But it was sort of like combining design thinking with storytelling. And that's where animation, 2D animation, and then of course 3D came in. Cinema 4D changed my life. I felt very, very intimidated by Maya and the VFX community and photoreal animation. Because I'm a designer and wasn't really interested in photoreal. I wanted something that was, sort of an extension of graphic design and typography and combining live action and graphics, and Cinema 4D was there for me, saying, "Try me out," you know.
What would you say? Say you were talking to, say, a young student, 18, 19 years old, out of college right now.
Yeah.
What would you say to them one-on-one? How do they overcome their obstacles to doing this?
We talked about this a lot on the panel, and I have to say, the panel was fantastic because we had a group of artists that were character animators, great compositors and VFX artists, as well as motion graphics people, right? They all had interesting take on this. I think it's important to just start and participate and try things out, and don't listen to that voice in your head that says, "I can't do this. This is too intimidating. It's too technical. There's too much to learn." And I think the Generation Z, men and women, it's all DIY because there's a democratic technological revolution that occurred. Things aren't expensive. When I was starting out, you had Flame. And Flame was this $1 million box, and only a select few. It was very expensive. To make a film, the camera equipment, everything was very expensive. It was an exclusive group, and it was a boys' club. Unfortunately, I have to say, it's still a boys' club. I'm a creative director, and I can count how many female, artists there are in the industry that are successful. And that is a little depressing.
So what if someone wanted to find a mentor? What would they go about doing? How would they go about doing that?
Some of the things we talked about. How can we take this panel and do more about that in the future? How could some of these women become mentors? Where can we put the information that came from this panel in a place where they can access it and know, how they got there and what they could do to accomplish or get into the industry.
So that's the next step.
That is the next step.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Paul Babb. Thank
see you, Dan.
It's Maxon Cinema 4D and Tuesday. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
All right. We are Dan Restuccio again here at postperspective.com, and we are here at NAB. For more information, go to
Maxon.net for me.
And more information?
I'm TuesdayMcGowan.com, and if anybody has any questions or want to talk or want to participate, you can contact me online.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.